Hey, so welcome to my winter garden. It is January, I actually honestly don't know, 9th maybe today. We're just gonna have a check to see how my garden has fared after getting down to minus 13 degrees Celsius. First off is my cabbage, which I was a bit concerned with last time I checked, but it actually is doing pretty good. My Mizuna and my green onions that will bulb, hopefully, before going to seed, are still doing really well. This is tatsoi, and it's, according to the packaging, very cold tolerant. One of the things that I noticed though was that on the east side of my garden, I don't know if you can see that, the east side of each of these beds does worse than the west side. So everything on the west side looks awesome, but a few of the leaves on the east side are not so awesome, but the plants will survive, and are still mostly doing well. My broccoli, which apparently doesn't do well after 18 degrees Fahrenheit, and I forget what that is Celsius, but it's like way above minus 13, is still doing great. Again, the leaves on the east side are the only ones showing damage. And whether this is permanent or whether those leaves will recover, I'm not sure. But the majority of the plant is still healthy. And this is cauliflower. And then purple sprouting broccoli, which apparently is supposed to be a good overwintering variety. It's a little younger than the big ones that we already saw. And it actually doesn't look as good as the bigger plants. I guess because the bigger plants have more, I don't know, ability to retain warmth because the plants are bigger. Not sure. So this will be interesting to see how they do. You can see that leaf is pretty droopy. But we'll see. Over here is my Chinese cabbage, and some of that is looking pretty not so wonderful. But these have been growing. Oh, that's scarlet kale tag. I don't know where my tag is for this, but these have been growing for, I think, since May. So I think I've gotten my money's worth out of them. I've treated them as a cut and come again plant, and they just keep giving me more leaves. My kale, not surprisingly, looks good still. Here's a leaf that's maybe a little droopy. It might come back. My Swiss chard, I think out of everything I saw today, fared the worst, I guess, but it is still alive. I'm going to have to come in here and clean it out again, though, again, on the east side of the bed is where it took, I guess there's not as much warmth here. You can see some really droopy leaves. But these have been in the ground since, I think late April was when I planted those. And this is my lettuce bed, and it took a bit of damage too. All of this was planted August 1st. So, but I mean, for the most part, it's still doing really good. There's a little bit of spinach there. These particular varieties did terrible until it actually got really cold, which was really surprising. They did nothing all summer and early fall, and once it got really cold, it did well. And then these are some more Chinese cabbages. And they're doing really well too. These ones were planted in August as well, as the lettuce. So I've gotten my money's worth out of them. And the carrots are doing great. I was really nervous about them, but they are all perky and looking awesome. So -13, 2 layers of Agribon 19, -13 degrees Celsius, I should say. I forgot to look what that would be Fahrenheit, and we're still doing good.